How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson.
Welcome to
Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
As a general philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish.
Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV. I am Preston Johnson, your host here in the Bets TV studios, hanging out on a Tuesday with the Qwan Young, my co-host slash producer, who, by the way, he's been complaining about his wisdom teeth hurting. Had to get a root canal earlier today. He's struggling. We won't make him talk too much, but he's hanging in there. He's getting the work done. Outside of that, though, I need to ask you, was your Labor Day good? It was a long weekend. We had holiday. I'm sunburned. I was out of the beach yesterday.
No.
Nothing?
No, listen. You know how I feel like Mike Tyson right now? Listen, you know how you're in those awkward situations when friends are fighting?
Oh.
Yeah, that was my week.
Yeah, I get it, except not in real life anymore because all my friends are just on the internet. But I know what you're saying. There's always internet friends that are fighting back and forth. Am I chopping up on the stream?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, no. All right, we'll double check the choppiness. We'll get on that. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was doing the robot. I'll check on Twitter, see if I'm chopping. I am chopping.
We'll go with that look for now.
I don't think it matters. Is it good? So maybe it's just the other camera. All right, cool. Well, we can talk into this one. We also got the other one. We can put on Qwan. Here we go. Labor Day. I get out, want to do something fun. We're like, hey, let's go to the beach, go on a hike for like an hour. So I don't put on sunscreen. Then my kids want to play on the sand. They want to go in the water. Anyway, 4 hours later, and I'm like as beet red as possible, although it doesn't look as bad. Used a little bit of my powder from my ESPN days when I would go on TV on the big screen. By the way, this camera, I think this angle's at least working, so you guys can get the corner, little bit of extra space. We're thinking about putting something there that isn't brick eventually, but we already have callers. 661-515-BETS is our phone line as usual. We take your calls. We talk through your bets. We just finished week 1 of college football. If you have any thoughts about the weekend, I have some thoughts with the Moneyline Underdog Round Robin going 4 out of 5. And obviously the 5th one with Florida State going to overtime, almost cashing. The main thing that I am regretting, and Qwan has proof of this. You can put it up, actually, if you have it. But I sent him, look back on the 3rd, before the show. For today, we're going to use Virginia Tech, Charlotte, Maryland, Georgia, UCLA. Don't worry about the prices. I was just going to do them live 5-10 minutes before the show tops. I'm like, hey, let's switch out Maryland for Florida State because $100 legs to win $50,000 isn't enough. We got to go bigger. So had I just stuck to the initial plan, Maryland would have gone 5-5. Maryland easy W. Really, all of them would have been fairly easy outside of Charlotte, which came down to the final drive. And Florida State had so many dang chances. Hopefully, I know there are people DMing me and asking me about hedging. What should I do before the game, as well as before the overtime, which I tweeted about because it was a good call. Like, it was a cheap price. If people hedged it all, you were able to lock in over $40,000 at $100 legs. So whatever the equivalent or amount that you bet, not quite as much as if Maryland had been in the 5-teamer. So I still regret it to some degree, but not as bad because I think there's a good chunk of people at least that were able to lock up. And even with the loss, I think people made closer to $15,000 on the $100 leg. So we'll see if I can get hot again. It was just a weird week 1. Qwan probably thinks I just do that all the time. It probably won't happen again this season. The pick every side was like 27-13, like 14 games ahead just to start out with the gate. Like, that's probably not going to happen again. So people don't get too crazy. I had a few DMs about how many units should I risk on the Moneyline Underdog Round Robin. For some context, my total amount when I've done those in the past is like 10% of 1 unit. And there were some people firing like 3-4 units total on it. So just want to make that clear. This is for fun. We've had some luck in the past with them. But, hey, is this back? No chop?
Don't jinx it.
All right.
We don't talk about the no-no.
I could sing Alanis Morissette again and see if there's any choppiness.
Yeah, that did some numbers. Oh my goodness, my mouth.
You don't need to talk. Was it Tone that called in immediately? Was it because he's won one in a row and he just couldn't wait to call back in? Maybe he had a banger of a holiday yesterday. Tone, that was quick. What's up, man? How you doing?
Chirping me early. I mean, you got Magic Johnson by FSU. I feel bad for your butthole, but well done. You had a great weekend, kid.
It was good. It could have been better. It always could be better, but it was good. Look, 3rd and 7. They're about to win the game. Notre Dame on their heels, down 3, inside the red zone, and the snapper just ground balls it behind Milton. Then they have to kick the field goal and go to overtime. I will not get over that snap.
I just love that it took for the guy's helmet to come off for them to put Milton in, not the 2 picks to start the second half or anything else. Just the guy's helmet falling off. It was incredible.
The 4th, I missed this. I was back and forth with my kids or something, but I missed that the helmet came off. I thought they pulled Travis. Remember they went for it on 4th and 2 on their own 28-yard line or something. They're inside their own 30. They failed because Travis goes RPO and he has a running back in the flat and he doesn't throw it. He starts rolling out and waits, and then everyone gets to the sideline and it's a dead play. And they basically gift Notre Dame 7 points right there. I thought he got pulled after that. And sure enough, that didn't even do it. Neither did the 2 picks. It was the helmet falling off, and then Milton comes in and should have been a Disney movie. Instead, freaking kickers and snappers. All right, I'm done ranting.
Kickers are people.
That's true. Qwan did have a whole kicker rant once upon a time, and holding true. Good job, though, on your picks. I believe you went 2-0, by the way.
I want to talk about LSU. Preston.
Yeah.
It don't matter. They ain't back. They got absolutely slaughtered in the trenches. That was pathetic. For all the
UCLA is good.
But forget UCLA being good. The same thing that happened last year with LSU. The guys can't line up on defense. At one point, I mean, UCLA's passing game, I think, is,
it's
still not great.
Yeah.
I like their scheme, though, but, he had 8 completions for 240 yards at one point, and half of them are just literally busted coverages. That first quarter, they couldn't do anything. Then they get the one play to the tight end, and that just changed the whole game.
That's true. The 75-yarder to the tight end, they were trailing at the time, too. LSU had already come back and taken the lead again. It's okay. It's okay to be opposite me occasionally, but, man, UCLA might end up winning 10 games this year or something. And who's that starting running back, number 24? I forget how to say his name, but he could be a legitimate Heisman candidate if UCLA is really winning 10 or 11 games. He's just a bulldozer. And their offensive line and the scheme with Kelly is just good. They're going to, against Pac-12 Ds, I know part of it's LSU, but look, Pac-12 defenses aren't starting them very frequently either. So I'm intrigued, and I'm a Bruins fan, so it was fun to sweat that and watch that out. What do you like this week?
And good job on Matt Corral. So he was down to 5-1 some places.
5? Are you serious? I haven't even looked.
Yeah.
Mercy. He only threw 1 touchdown because they called 3 back. I don't know if you caught that. He ran for 1 or 2 as well.
He had a ton of passing yards, and then the first drive, 80 passing yards, and then they just shoved it down their throat for 3 straight plays out of the read option. Just kept shoving it, and walked it in. It was he just kept having drives like that, pass it all the way down the field, and then just line up as fast as possible and just keep running it down their throat. You've
said that a few times, so it's interesting that he's 5-1. I'll say a lot of it has to do with all of the other top guys, Rattler, Uigalele. Those guys didn't really have very good games either. So we'll see if Ole Miss's defense can play like they did for about 3 quarters before it looked like they gave up against Louisville. And this is kind of my whole premise and thesis to start the year was their offense is going to be up there. The numbers will be there. Can they get to double-digit wins? They might if their defense is average. It just was way below average in the past. So we'll see if that happens. I'm not necessarily drinking too much Kool-Aid yet, and I definitely wouldn't bet 5-1 now. So that's a big move.
Yeah, big move for your pockets. All right, let me get the over in Panthers-Jets.
No way. That's one of 3 NFL games that I like this week. So break it down for us. But that's the only total at the current market I think is worth betting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think both offenses are going to be way improved. People want to chirp about the Jets, but Wilson's going to be a big difference for them. And then, I don't know. I don't think you can really, everyone's just Sam Darnold stinks. Sam Darnold stinks. It's Look what
Yes.
he was given with the Jets, and what would you expect? And now you have Joe Brady, and the Panthers have weapons, so I expect them to be able to score points. Yeah, I like the over there. What is it, 45?
I can give you a 44.5. There's a few of those, 44.5. I know I saw a stat recently.
What else
There
do
was
you like there? Yeah.
there's a few. So adjusting for schedule in the games that Christian McCaffrey played for the Panthers last year, they had the 8th best offensive efficiency. When he was out, it was 22nd. And so if Darnold could even just be Bridgewater-ish, look, their offense is going to be, I think, top 10 in the league. And I'm not necessarily trusting either defense enough yet. So Jets can't be worse on offense, I don't think, with Zach Wilson and company. And there is some historical significance to week 1, the first time that rookie quarterback kind of is let go. They open up the playbook, week 1, regular season. They cover at a pretty high rate. They perform at a lot better rate than they would, say, week 4 once defenses get the tape on them. So if there's a game for Zach Wilson and the Jets against the average to below average defense, it's this one. I'm with you. Over 44.5 tone. We got a few more callers now. We'll lock you in for that and talk to you maybe later today on Betting Extraordinary.
Did you see the Monday night thing, though, real quick? Did you see the Monday night thing? Peyton and Eli are getting ESPN2?
No, I did not see that. Break that down real quick.
Yeah, they're just chilling on the couch, watching the Monday night game. So it's going to be a way better watch than listening to Louis Riddick rant. They're just chilling, talking to each other, watching the whole game. That's the plan for Monday night, ESPN2.
And they're just going to stream it on ESPN2.
Saw it once. Yeah.
Nice. We'll see if it's any good. But I'm sure I usually have it on mute these days when I'm watching games. I don't even care about the commentators anymore.
That's why that'd be decent. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I'm in. Talk to you later, Tom.
Have a good one.
All right. Who's up next, Qwan? Who do we got? Andrew, who, welcome to the show, by the way, Qwan mentioned right before we went live, is undefeated so far this year. Is it 3 plays in college football? He hit all 3.
3 in college football, I think.
Yeah, well done. Welcome back. Any quick thoughts about week 1 and anything you're looking to here for week 2?
Week 1, bad look for the ACC and Pac-12 North. Definitely tough looks. Week 2, I haven't dived too much into yet. I've been looking at a few baseball plays.
Okay.
I think, it's time to play bully ball with the bets, get teams mailing it in, and, teams still trying to get their spot secured in the playoffs.
All right, what's your top play in baseball, if you narrowed it down?
I've got 2. One is just a hold your nose kind of situation, and the other one I'm betting on a pitcher that's having his best year in a while, and that's going to be Wade Miley, left-hander for the Cincinnati Reds. They're playing the hottest team in baseball right now, unfortunately, in the Cubs. They won 7 of their last games. But Miley was considered a Cy Young candidate before he had a couple off games there. The Reds absolutely mash. It's going to be one of those days in Chicago. I just can't see this Cubs team continuing to be successful against a Reds team that should make the wild card spot.
How Cubs of the Cubs is it that they lose 11, 12 straight or whatever? They basically punt away. They trade Rizzo. They're basically rebuilding, and now they start winning games when they don't really need to. It's just the way it has broken down.
Yeah.
You can
Frank
get, by the way.
been out of his mind.
Yeah, it's true. No. Minus 151 is the best price I got there for the Reds.
Okay,
so we'll lock you in for that.
The other one I'm looking at is, as far as a hold your nose game goes, is the Diamondbacks Texas Rangers. The Rangers have been hot, but they haven't played anybody. Zach Gallen's taken the mound for Arizona. He's been up and down all season, but I love his future prospects. Spencer Howard came over from Philly to Texas and has just been pretty much horrendous all year. I think I feel more confident in the Reds, but I wouldn't mind taking a sniff at the Diamondbacks as well. I think the over is probably the safer play there, but definitely best pick, go with Wade Miley.
Okay, cool. So there's 3 potential plays there. He's locking in Wade Miley, though, for his tracked bet for the month, for some cash at the end of the month as well. Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
For those that are new, tuning in maybe for the first time, we have callers. We track their bets. We've given away, $2,300 now at the ends of each month. Whoever has the best record, the best ROI at the end of it. yeah, Qwan and I usually find ways to donate money into the prize pool for the callers. So far, so good for Andrew. Again, he's been on fire in college football last week. We have another caller up, Qwan. Yeah, go ahead and patch them through. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. Hope your holiday and your weekend was good. Who are we speaking with?
Big B.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Just on the way home from work, actually, with my old lady and my kids.
Right on. Are you driving?
Man.
Drive safe.
No, I'm definitely not driving. I'm riding. Okay. I'm in a passenger
Easy enough.
seat.
Cool.
Yeah,
what do you like for today? Or this week? You can go NFL week 1, college football week 2, baseball, whatever you want.
Very ironic. Very ironic that he, Andrew just called in about the Reds. I was going to ask about them myself, but since he made that play, what's the Reds minus the 1.5 runs?
Ooh, interesting. Getting a little spicy. You can get plus 100. It's exactly plus 100, even money on the minus
so
1.5.
Even money. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take them just to switch things up a bit. But I'm actually a bit of a Reds fan. Been a Reds fan for a while, but I just want to reiterate everything he said about Wade Miley. And the Cubs been on a bit of a run. The Reds have lost 7 out of 9, and I think it's just time to get back on the right track. I think San Diego Padres, they took over wild card spot by a whole game, but I like the Reds to eventually. Yeah, we were like 2.5 up, a week ago, but we've been in a bit of a swoon.
Sure.
But about college football this weekend, though, that was pretty impressive, your run there.
Man, it was. I just wish we could have closed it out with that Florida State win, man. It would have made a lot of people happy, a lot of money, better story. But here we are.
Of course.
People still appreciate it. Everyone's been super kind, so I appreciate it. Yeah.
Exactly. One more missed field goal for Bobby Bowden.
Look, he made the 50-yarder before Norvell calls timeout to review it.
Kicker.
Right after the old time whistle goes, and then, of course, and shout out Joey Knish in a thread I'm in, while they're reviewing it, he's like, without a doubt, he's missing this 37-yarder after they redo this, and then sure enough, never had a chance. It was just wide left, so sad day.
Well, I mean, not only was there the amount of time that it took for them to do the review, when the refs spotted the ball, the spot was still off. So, if he might have made it at that point, once they had to respot the ball, he was definitely missing. Because, he was sitting there thinking, wait, shouldn't I be closer? Shouldn't this be closer?
Yeah, he got in his own head a little bit. I forgot about that part. They were lining it up, even though they had just reviewed to move it up, and they moved it up incorrectly. He's lining up. He's like, okay, I guess I'm kicking from here, and everyone's yelling like, no, no, no. Then they move it up, and his mindset was so just zapped.
Imagine what's going through his mind at that point. It's crazy.
Yep, I spaced that part of it. Man, makes it even worse. All right, Vic, we appreciate the call.
I just wanted to say one more thing.
Sure.
UCLA versus LSU is not a normal Pac-12 versus SEC situation. UCLA is for real. The transfer Zach Charbonnet, he means business, and I'm actually on your UCLA bandwagon now.
Let's
I'm
go.
on the bandwagon with them with you.
I love it.
All right,
you got
man.
the Charbonnet name
Talk
right.
to you in about it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Charbonnet. He's from Michigan, right? Transfer from Michigan.
Yes, he was a Michigan transfer.
Yeah. So if he ran against Big 12 defensive fronts, he can do it in the Pac-12 and SEC or wherever.
For sure. I'm excited. Just got to have him stay healthy. We'll be in good shape. Take it easy, Vic. Good luck today.
All right, now.
Who's up next? Is it Tom? All right, that's what I thought I heard in the background. Tom, welcome. How was your holiday, man?
What's up, Big Daddy? It was all right. I was pulling for y'all. Nobody even said anything. I know you're a hero, either a goal to get it.
Yeah.
But the boneheaded move to me is when he went for it on his own side of the field with 12 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, it was 11-something left. They were down 11 points. 4th and 2 on their own, 28 or something. It was inside the 30, I'm pretty sure. Here's the thing. The play worked if Travis just makes the read and throws it to the running back right away, but he waits, rolls out, then the second option, tight end out of the flat, isn't open, and then the play's dead. If he converts it, everyone's like, wow, that's super ballsy, well done. If he doesn't, then this is what we're hearing. In a vacuum, and this is, I think, the best way that announcers even put it, or even some people on Twitter when I was just like catching up. If you're trying to win the game down 11, you can't really punt there down 11 with 11 minutes left when it's 4th and 2. Like, if you're trying to win, you just need to go win. Now, what's funny is that they go down 18 right after, and then they come back and tie the game anyways. So now it looks really stupid. But it's just kind of all like perspective. But I think in a vacuum, down 11 and 11 something left, you just have to go for the 4th and 2. They just failed. But it's easy to say now, well, if they didn't, they might have won in regulation for sure. That could be the case.
Yeah, he went from a hero to a zero quick.
Well, then they pulled him shortly after that, too, because of the helmet thing.
I tried to get down on the money line round robin, and they shot me down, wouldn't let me play.
Wow, no way. Where at?
With the one little spot here. You know I'm in Georgia, and they don't got no legal book here.
Okay, that's fine.
So
I didn't know if you were still in like North
thing
Carolina, like you were firing blackjack hands for us. So.
Yeah, I wish I would have got to play from you a couple days earlier. We would have been all right. I tried
yeah,
to
they should have booked
2
it.
threes.
I wonder if they were getting too much action on those, which happens occasionally. And then the book was just like, wow, we don't want any more money line round robins on these sides. I don't know why everyone's betting these money lines. What the hell's going on? And so they shut you down. Yeah, whatever skin it was.
I tried it right after you released it. I tried it, and it said they wouldn't let me play more than 2 underdog money line on a parlay.
I'll be honest. If you're a sports book and you're not taking money line parlays of more than 2 teams at a time, like you're just giving away money. Like in a vacuum, sports books should be happy to take as much parlay money as they want. So it's a shame that they said, no, I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Like taking money from a baby. No, everything else has been all right. You know, I got one guy I call and talk to the phone, and he wouldn't do no action either. But yeah, maybe I have to make the trip next time and get it down up there in North Carolina or something.
You could try a trip. Another thing you can try is some people like it's the whole idea is you're trying to compound these like higher variance money lines. I spoke through it a little bit on Friday. You could also just take the dog plus the points, feel it, you parlay the sides, right? Like you could take Florida State plus 7.5 or 7, whatever it was at the time. Would have won. It actually would have gone 5-5 now. All the sides would have been minus 110.
I started DM you and see which way to go with that, but I know your plate was pretty full at the end of the week last week, so I left you alone. And this pool for you, I didn't want to go out of my way to try to get down in and mush it, you know?
That's true. Whoever didn't bet it last week, because there were some that missed it, and shout out Joey Kanish again complaining over and over to me. I tweeted about this like 5 times. Monday, I tweeted out the schedule. Multiple people were asking me during the week, and I retweeted, hey, it'll be on Friday. Or even Friday, I said, it's today on the show. And then even after the show, we posted a recap that had the actual round robin there on the graphic. People missed
on
it.
On the screenshot.
Yeah, so people can pay attention, but there were people that didn't bet it. So whoever it was that missed it last week and gave us all the good luck, just stay off it for the rest of the year. We'll be happy.
That's right.
All right, what do you like? Are you going to go week 2 college football early, week 1 NFL, or baseball?
Yeah, what do you see in for the side of Iowa?
You like Iowa?
I sort of do.
Explain to us why.
Well, they pretty much owned them the last 5-6 years, which I know that don't mean nothing, amount to a hill of beans, but they just seem to have the number, you know.
So this is a good one. We're going to talk about it later on the show. I'm not going to bring up anything yet. People can tune in and wait. I'm going to, like I usually are going to do on Mondays, doing it Tuesday today because of the holiday. But I'll go through my sides versus the market where I think there's a discrepancy that's worth betting. We did it last week. They went 6-3, so good start there. I'm going to do it again. But I do have a play in this game. There are 4s and 4.5s. So for you, Tom, I will give you the plus 4.5 on the Iowa side.
All right.
And we'll lock you in.
Yeah, on your every side play, looks like you sputtered a little bit out of the gate, but then if you didn't hit them in the middle, in the mid-evening, and then you sputtered at the end of the night. If you throw out the 12 o'clock games and the 9 o'clock games, hell, you might have been about 20-2.
There was a run in there, I think, of like 11 or 12 straight based on the rotation.
That's what I've seen.
Yeah, it was well the weird day games, because the first weekend they always play on like Friday, and they have the Sunday and Monday games. Those actually went 5-0 and 1. There was a push with Old Dominion on the plus 32. It was the only push on the board, but the Saturday morning started slow, and Saturday night lost the last few. But Yeah, there was a run in
but
there
in
that
the
was pretty
middle of
sweet.
them, you was lights out in the middle. Well, just telling you good ups. And appreciate
Again,
your
anyone
time,
listening,
brother.
Tom, you included, like, don't ever expect that. When I'm picking a side in every game on Friday, 27-13 is not happening again. So don't go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good week one.
I've been with you for about 3 or 4 years now, brother. I know
Alrighty.
better than that.
Fair enough. I appreciate it, Tom. Good luck today. We'll talk to you later on tomorrow.
All right, man. Bye. Peace.
So I'm real quick, Qwan, before you throw the next caller on. I'm froze up over here on our screen, but that's not happening in the actual. No, I am frozen on the stream. So I think you should probably try switching cameras. People that are tuning in. There we go. That's fair. We're good. All right. You can try to fix that camera again. I'll turn a little bit, speak to the camera, speak to the callers. Who's up next? Who do we got? Patrick.
Hey, Preston.
Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
It's going well, man. It was a good holiday. How was yours?
It was good. It was good. My 9-year-old, his soccer team, they had a fantasy football draft, and the results were hilarious.
9-year-olds.
I mean,
wow.
one kid picked. Yeah. So they were real excited about it. But one kid picked all Packers. One kid picked Le'Veon Bell. One kid picked Matthew Stafford in the first round. So the dads were trying not to give any advice or help out at all. So, but
any
kickers
kickers
really fun.
in this league?
Oh yeah. It's funny. Once one kid picked a kicker or defense, then all the other kids oh, we got to pick a kicker too.
Follow suit. The kicker run. Yeah. No, that's good. What are they playing for? Is there some sort of prize? I know probably not money, but is there some sort of gift or prize?
No, we're gonna buy like a trophy that they can, because we were playing they play on the same soccer club every year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pass the trophy around every year.
Okay, so it's pretty regular. Cool.
Like little names on the trophy and stuff. So.
Right on, man. No, that's fun. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what? For today, I'm going to dip right back in my bag of NFL plays. I really like Tone's play, the over on the Jets.
Yeah, that's my loan. I was going to talk about it on when we do totals tomorrow, but the 44.5, 45, that's the best NFL total, I think, on the board.
Yeah, because it was sitting there at 43 for a very long time.
Yeah,
I think it just moved maybe last week. So I played that at 43 a few weeks ago.
Well
But I'm going to another game that I think this is going to move to. The over in the Cardinals-Titans game. It's sitting at 52 right now, and it really hasn't budged much. But I have to think this is going to go off a little bit higher. I mean, Kyler Murray, before he got hurt halfway through last year, that offense was cooking. I mean, he was running, and you were putting up about 30 points a game. And neither one of these teams' defenses, they're both bottom 10 defenses. Tennessee has done nothing to improve their horrible defense from a year ago. So this looks going to look like a shootout in week one. It may be the highest scoring game on the board.
So this is interesting.
I'd rather have.
It might be the highest scoring game on the board. I think the Cleveland-Kansas City total expects to be. It's a little bit higher. But my total's a little bit higher, but only 53.1, I think it was. So it wasn't enough of a discrepancy for me to play it, especially with 51 being relatively key. If it got down to there, somehow I would. But I think it's the total that there's always the discussion of public or whatnot, or I hate to be like all the discussion last week was, everyone loves UCLA now. I'm so worried about my UCLA +4 ticket, which doesn't really make sense when UCLA, it's 2.5 and then it ends up closing 1.5 some spots. You shouldn't just worry that everyone likes UCLA. If the market's going that direction, it's going to pay off more often than not. But this is one I think everyone's going to be on the over. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad play, though. But I think that will be the general sentiment. And you're right, it'll probably move up. Maybe even touches 54 if it gets enough action. And everyone's going to be like, everyone's on this over. It's so obvious. 2 great offenses, 2 poor defenses. And then everyone's going to be like, it can't win because, it's like everyone's on it. Look, it still can win, especially if it's moving the right direction.
And you know what? As this becomes more mainstream with gambling, it really annoys me when I hear about the public, who's the public on, who are the sharps on. I mean, a lot of
who even is the public?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, who's saying who's on what? I mean, I can't imagine these books are releasing these figures. If they are, that I'm sure they're not accurate on. We got this much money on this team. The sharps are on. It's it's a bunch of bullshit to me.
It really is. And for some context, you see those percentages sometimes, or you see someone report percentages. that's a lot of the times only one sports book that's even relaying their information. And again, we don't even know if it's accurate or not. My guess is that it is most of the time. But if like Caesars is reporting something, like it doesn't really even mean anything. Look, Pinnacle or Chris, like if they're reporting something, which they don't, like then maybe it's significant. But yeah, it's usually super noisy, and a lot of people reference those numbers and stats and this and that. But I think it's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up. Cool, but we'll lock you in for that. I can give you real quick, just double check. I got the best number 52 minus 109 over. Yeah, 52. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, if these lines are moving, it's not because Joe Public has a bunch of $20 bets. That's not going to move it to 52 to 50.
They add up, Patrick.
I mean, you know what? If any sport, if they do in any sport, I guess it's the NFL. So
that's like the lone like Super Bowl conundrum of some props. Maybe sometimes you get a side that's a little bit off, but it's very rare, and it's probably just the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's hope for a lot of points in that game.
Yep.
So should be fun. All right.
Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you later on. We have someone else waiting, Qwan. Are we good? Oh, only 4 more callers. Let's get through them. Bring them on. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Ken.
Hey, I got you, Ken. What's up? Real quick, Qwan, switch up the camera. There you go. All right, you're good to go. What do you like for week 2 college football, week 1 NFL, or are you going baseball?
No, I'm only college football. Only thing you hear me is that.
Beautiful. Now I know.
And I'm gonna go South Florida. I know they got pounded by NC State, but 28 points by Florida is just too much.
It's so high, huh?
I feel like that would go under.
That was one that yesterday I talked to some people about.
By the way, great job this weekend. I know you got a lot of accolades. I've been following you a while, but this weekend was kind of crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm with you on South Florida. That's another one we'll talk about later on the show. It even went to 27 pretty recently at one shop for what it's worth. So we'll give you the 28 on USF. Look, I faded Florida last week too, so I was under and the side, which actually got a little bit sweaty. Florida actually tried to score for a second at the end. Would have lost both, but they hung on. But I'm just a little bearish on Florida on top of the fact of this like reaction to how South Florida was against NC State. I love this. 4 TDs with Florida versus a Florida team at home. Got to take it.
Yeah, I agree. So.
Cool, man. We'll lock you in.
Have
good luck. Bye. You too.
Thanks.
Go ahead, funnel in the next caller. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. Who am I speaking with? Sarab, you there? We got you on. Hey, you're cutting out a little bit, but we're here. I think we hear you now.
You got me.
Yeah, you're a little bit cut. Are you in a basement by chance?
No, I'm in my normal spot.
Oh, there you go. You're good. You're way clear now. You're back.
Gotcha, man.
All right, what do you like?
I will take the Bucks first half, please, on Thursday night.
Okay, tell me why. Because this is probably the side I would be closest to betting that I wouldn't, because I just don't know what the Dak situation is. He hardly practiced, didn't throw, and no preseason. So I get why this is inflated. But also, generally, over a TD here, I think is incorrect if we anticipated full strength Dak and Cowboys. So go ahead, break it down for us. I'm very curious.
Yeah, no, I'm a Cowboy fan, man, and yeah, the Dak thing's a big factor. He hasn't played for a year. Zach Martin's most likely going to be out. I don't think he's going to come up with 2 negative COVID tests anytime soon, so that's going to be a huge deal. The Bucks, I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine. I saw their last preseason game against Houston. Brady's looking good. And, yeah, the Dallas defense is really nothing to write home about either. Our secondary's not that great. Michael Parsons is good at linebacker, but Jalen's terrible. LVE's okay. And our pass rush isn't that good either. So I lean Bucks heavily. And I just like the first half because I don't want to get backdoored at the end.
Sure. So let me ask you a question. I can give you a -4 first half at -116 or a -4.5 at -110. Off the top of my head, I think that's probably about a wash. 6 cents for the half point of a 4.5. That's probably correct. So I don't know if you have a personal preference. I don't think mathematically there's a big edge either way.
I'll take the 4.
Okay, so we'll lock you in 4 minus 116. Tampa Bay, first half, Thursday night, the kickoff for the regular season. We appreciate it, Sarab.
Thanks, Preston. Take it.
Yep, take it easy. Cool. Let's bring him in. Next one up. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. Who am I speaking with?
Preston, it's Carlos.
Hey.
What's up?
How's it going, man? How's your weekend?
Good. It was great. Were you as disappointed as I was in the kid from DJ Ukulele, as I'm going to call him? He played like a ukulele. He was terrible. It was horrible.
I don't know why Quan's even laughing. I think it's ukulele, I believe.
I call him a ukulele. Like
maybe you can give it a
small. He
look.
Played small on a big stage.
Here's the thing. He was on a big stage taking over for Trevor Lawrence last year against, was it Notre Dame, and he scored 30-something. I think Georgia's really good. Remember, that was the team, 8-1 before the season. I loved. Now, the offense didn't look good on the Georgia side anyways either. No offensive touchdowns even scored in that game at all. But
yeah,
I'm not sure I can put too much of the blame on Clemson. Now, I think people were undervaluing the loss, not only of Lawrence, but Etienne, and I believe, was it their center? An offensive lineman that ended up getting drafted. That's like going to take some time, and then you're going up against a Kirby Smart, formerly Alabama DC, been great at Georgia the last few years as the head coach. That's just a tough spot. So part of the reason I like Georgia for the season, why I liked them in that game, but I'm not going to necessarily just like count Clemson out or something. Now, if anything, there's probably people that are touting today to bet Clemson to win it all, right? Now they have their loss, but if they win out from here, they probably get a playoff spot, right? Let me look up and see what like the prices are now. Like before, you probably couldn't get 8 or 9 to 1, and now you can. So yeah, 8 to 1 seems like the highest on the quick screen I looked at. But anyway, just something to keep in mind. But he looked horrible. You're right. There's no excuses for it. I'm just not sure I would take it as like gospel for this season.
Right. I was going to say Miley, but everybody else took 2. People took it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go Seattle Storm. How about that?
I love that you're still following the WNBA.
Yeah, man. I mean, Della Dons didn't travel with the team. Tina Charles is like not 100%. Seattle's been shooting horribly. I think they want to get a game where they can, start shooting better. So I'll take the 10.
I'll tell you this, they definitely want to shoot better if they've been shooting horribly. You're right about that. Whether they do or not is a different story. There's one minus 9.5 though. So I think
there you go.
I can give you that. Most of the market is 10, so you have a slight advantage being able to shop around. We'll lock you in though. Storm minus 9.5. Carlos, thanks for the call. Maybe we'll talk to you later today for betting extraordinaire. If not, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I lost. Okay.
No, you lost, but it's day one. Everyone lost. No one picked both.
Everyone lost?
Yeah, it was which money line or which is the correct answer? Georgia money line, UCLA money line, both or none. And you went none when you were trying to be a little contrarian, but both won and no one went with both. I won both of those. So all 8 of the contestants were wrong, and we're day one. We're running it back. Maybe I should have explained that earlier on the show, but it's a free for all now. Day one.
I will call you, sir.
Sounds good, man.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you then. All right, last caller, I think, for now. We got another one? 2. All right, 2 more, and then I'll get through my sides for the week for college football and then the 2 in the NFL. Welcome to the show. This is Preston. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Preston. It's Christian here.
Hey, what's up, Christian? How you doing?
Good. It was actually a pretty profitable weekend. Ended up plus 5 units, so I wish I would have called and given you some of my picks. I just completely forgot about it on Friday.
It's all good. I think you had, was it an FCS game, the UAB one? Yeah.
I did.
So you got that one in at least.
Utah and Weber State.
Yep.
No.
All right, what do you like? Are you going college football this week? You can do college football today if you want for week 2.
Yeah, I actually did have something. I actually wanted to break it. I wanted to get your take on it as well because I'm so confused by it. It's South Carolina +1 against ECU. I think it opened at +3 South Carolina, and now it's moved up to +1. But I mean,
Circa opened it -3 on the South Carolina side, -3. Now it's been
I thought it
bet.
was
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay. All right. So it's still trending. It's definitely going in favor of ECU, but still, I
Yes.
mean, what is there? What am I missing here? Because from what I thought over the weekend, it seemed like ECU didn't look all that great against App State, and I mean South Carolina. Yeah, they had an FCS, but I mean,
here's what it is, and it's extremely intriguing to me. We don't have much historical information on this. In a vacuum, South Carolina is better than ECU. ECU was like whatever against App State. Did they end up losing by 14? Was it 33-19 final? They didn't even cover. South Carolina plays an FCS school. They blow them out, but it's an FCS game. This is the key.
Yeah.
South Carolina started a grad assistant at quarterback. It's the GA. It's an assistant coach playing quarterback for South Carolina. They've had so many injuries. Their program has been in so much flux. So they opened a -3.
Yeah.
It's immediately ECU money comes in at home against a grad assistant trying to play quarterback. Now, he looked better than you would have thought against an FCS school. So maybe he's good, living the dream as like this 20-something-year-old QB. I have no idea. Look, you're right. South Carolina, from a sheer numbers perspective, probably a bad line. They shouldn't be an underdog on the road here. If it's a grad assistant quarterback that we really just don't know much about other than an FCS game, I don't know if I want to trust that yet. So for me, I'd stay away, but it's extremely intriguing. So I'm not surprised you're like, what the heck's going on here, you know?
Yeah, I forgot about the whole grad assistant thing. Yeah, that I didn't even take that into account.
Zeb
But,
Noland,
I mean, ECU is just, they're so bad. They're like, I've watched them for a while, and they're never good. I mean, they didn't look good either against App State, so I still feel pretty confident about South Carolina. Yeah,
Pikachu did just message me. He's tuning in. He said Doty, I hadn't seen this yet, is officially probable for the game at quarterback for South Carolina. So it might not be the grad assistant. So you might have some upside there if he ends up playing QB.
Isn't he tied for the lead in the SEC throwing touchdowns? He threw 4, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I figured they just ran the ball a ton. I only saw at one point he had 2 TDs passing, but it was the middle of the game.
I think I saw he threw.
He finished with 4. Yeah, that's not bad.
Heisman.
He's probably going to tell coach, like, no.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Doty's not playing.
No.
Give me a chance. I would if I were him. Look, I'm not against it. If you want to lock it in, and it sounds like he might play, so you might have some upside there. They'll end up closing
put
the
me
favorite.
in on it.
There's one spot dealing a +2 on the South Carolina side, so I can give you that. And
Oh yeah, better than what I got it at.
yeah, it's. Let me just double. Yeah, no, it's around +2. There's 2 spots actually that +2, one in Vegas and one globally. But yeah, we'll give it to you. +2 on South Carolina.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Go, man. Take it easy.
See you.
All right, last caller, and then I got to get through my sides, patch them through. Welcome to the show. Who am I speaking with? Ty. Maybe he's working or something. Ty, you can call back in if you need to. Sorry you dropped. All right, he's on. All right, Ty. Welcome back, man. How's it going? You're on. What's up, Ty?
Hey, Cheetah, what's going on, man?
Nothing at all. Just hanging, getting ready for week 2 college, week 1 NFL. What do you have for us? You looking college football, looking NFL, or are you going to go baseball?
No, I'm
or
going
I guess
US
you like to do
Open.
tennis sometimes.
Yeah, I'm going to take the young kid, the 18-year-old Alcatraz, tonight in the nightcap. He should be somewhere in the range of +170, +180.
I can give you +165. Looks like it's moved down some.
Okay. All right, well, that works. I'll take that. I just think having seen both those guys a lot over the course of the last week in person and everything, the crowd will be behind Alcatraz, and I think they're more evenly matched than the line would indicate. So
Sure.
Crowd behind him, young kid with some momentum, underdog story. That's who I'm going with.
That actually moved quite a bit, like in the last 20 to 25 minutes ago. So yeah, you were on the right side. It sounds like. We'll give you the +165, but it was 180, 175 range.
Thanks, dude. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. Whew. All right. Let's get through some of these sides. I need to pull up the market numbers real quick for college football. I've been all over the screen, and now I was just looking up tennis. By the way, Qwan, we did our head-to-head on the 3 big games over the weekend, It came down to Notre Dame, Florida State. Florida State covered. So I don't owe 200 into the pool for last week. We'll do it again this week. We'll talk on Friday. We'll do $200 a week. We're probably going to need to do something, though, on the side. Still some sort of physical exertion.
Physical
streamed. Punt, kick, pass still in the mix. I don't know. We got to figure it out. All right. I like Kansas somewhat. It's ugly as can possibly be. It's the Friday night game. It's just way too tall of a number, and it's even moved from 27. But 25.5, I'd bet it's smaller. By the way, Kansas outgained Coastal Carolina last year. Just a fun note. They definitely lost. Everyone loves Coastal Carolina. Kansas stinks. They barely won the FCS game. Ugly as can be, like I said, take the 25.5. That is one that I see an edge in. Next up, now this one I believe is a half point gone. Let me just double check real quick. No, you can still get a couple of 17s. Toledo fading Notre Dame again. I think 17's too tall. Like Toledo in general this year. Been more bullish on their side. Only would bet it at 17, though. 16.5 would be a pass. There's quite a few like 17 minus 115s. I think that's okay. Wouldn't bet it worse. You can also just keep your eye on it throughout the week again if you're not able to follow directly. This one is definitely moved, but just for people, for the sake of the knowledge of the bet, the movement, and whether or not you kind of know where it's coming from. I know a few people that bet this, but TCU was 9.5 through like Monday evening. That was incorrect. Now they're up to as high as 11.5, some spots, 10.5 most. I wouldn't bet it now, but watch it. If something happens and it moves back, some trickles down. TCU at 10 or better is a buy for me. I have it quite a bit. I think it should be closer to 2 touchdowns. So, and this is, again, someone that liked the Cal side against Nevada, which ended up, even though they were up 14-0, absolutely bombing. So, maybe, again, that was one of the, I think, teams that early on in the summer when we were doing previews for the season, TCU, I was super high on. Have that 9-1 ticket for them to make the Big 12. I like them. I think we got to go with it. Trust the number there. But again, wouldn't bet it unless it trickles back down to 10. Just want to relay all the information so people got it. This one's ugly as well for a favorite. Let me see if it's still sitting 13.5. It is Nebraska, a team that didn't look very good at all in the opener against Illinois. And then everyone sees Illinois lose at home to UTSA. And it's like, oh, wow, Nebraska must really stink, right? Now they're laying 13.5 against Buffalo. Buffalo's been good in the MAC. Well, look, their coach and a lot of their players left. And I think there's a lot of question marks on the Buffalo side. I think Nebraska could take care of business. Was it Fordham who they just played? They were laying 40-something, and I believe they covered. Nebraska did. So, look, my number's more like 16.5, I believe it was. It was nearer to 17, and we're getting under a 14. I had to take a shot on Nebraska. It hurts for a favorite that big. Here's the one. Who was it they called in and liked? Was it Tom Davis? He liked Iowa? He said Iowa's had their number the last 6 or 7 years. Look, this grades out as, in my opinion, the best Iowa State team we've ever seen. If they're ever going to do anything, it's this year. I think they're the 6th best team in the country. Against was a Northern Iowa FCS, they really struggled. They barely won 16-10 final, I believe it was. Everyone remembers that. Everyone saw Iowa absolutely stomp Indiana, who was getting hyped because they were at one point a top 10 team last year, closed a top 25 school. The underlying metrics in that game was a lot closer than 38-6 or whatever the final was. I think it was 38-6. There were some turnovers, some weird stuff. Look, Iowa deserved to win the game. They are not 32 points better than Indiana. That's just not what it is. I think there's a little bit of an overreaction here on both sides. Iowa looked a lot better than I think they really are, and Iowa State looked a lot worse. And look, they did this against ULL last year. They lost in the opener against Lafayette, and then they bounced back. I think -4s are worth a smaller play. 4.5 would be a pass. So I think that's a necessary difference to point out. And again, when Tom called, I could give him 4.5, but there are plenty of -4. So if you like the Cyclone side as well, I do like that way. A bunch of people I know are on Rice. It was another one that I liked. Should be under a TD. And Houston, I think, went up 14-0, 17-0 against Texas Tech, and then just got blasted after that. And I think there's a ton of question marks on their side. And Rice hung with Arkansas. At halftime, they actually won that first half outright. And then Arkansas somehow came back and covered 19 regardless. But Rice has some life. And again, getting anything 8, 8.5, 9 was good. They're still 8s. So go ahead and shop for those. You can play out on Rice. A couple of more. USF we talked about. He called in. It was 29. 28s are still great. I have quite a bit lower on Florida one of the reasons that we took FAU in that game last week in the under. Just going to follow suit here. And again, I bet against South Florida with the NC State. So this is not me like, I don't know. I'm actually pretty shocked that this is 4 TDs. Miami is one that was short. Let me ask you this, Qwan. I've been talking a lot. I need a little bit of a break. I'm also needing to look up this number because I'm not sure if it's moved a ton. 7.5, 8, 8.5. Wow, this is started pushing now. 8 and 9 aren't super key in football in general or college, but I had this over double digits. Miami at home to Appalachian State, who looked fine against ECU, but Miami got shellacked by Bama. What do you think the Miami mindset is? I'm just curious. Is it generally, we know we're good, because Miami's still a top 20-ish team for sure. Is the mindset, we know we're good, we just went up against Bama, forget about it, move on? Or does that, hurt their, internal, hell no what?
Yeah, you go into a game playing against, the best team in the country, and you know they're the best team in the country. I mean, you did as good as you could. That's all you can ask for.
Okay.
So they're probably going to come back.
Generally positive vibes coming out of it.
I wouldn't say positive.
It's not like, oh, man, Bama, blitzed us, we must
damn,
stand.
we got our ass kicked.
Okay.
Whatever.
I think they take care of business against App State. I still believe in general. And my number was closer to 12. I don't know if this is going to even get to 10 or not. We'll see. I was also quite a bit higher on Miami relative to my numbers in the market against Bama. So maybe I'm just off enough on Miami. But then that's what's weird about this. People remember under 9.5 wins for Miami was one of the season win totals I liked early in the summer. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is as the weeks play out. We'll maybe find out. I'm either right about the season win total for sure, or the market week to week hasn't necessarily caught up to where Miami should be. I'm intrigued. It'll be an interesting game. App State's never a pushover, but I think it'll be kind of a contrarian, similar to Texas versus ULL. You got another group of 5 App State coming into Miami. It's kind of a contrarian favorite, I think. Last one, differentiating opinions on people I talk to, but if you can get 5s, 5.5, they're mostly 4.5s now on Troy. I think this should be closer to a field goal, even a little bit lower. My projection on average is 2.8. So I like Troy some against Liberty. And then the last one, which I believe is another one that's moved quite a bit. I like it -5 or better. Oh, no, it's still sitting 5. Memphis. It was 4. It's moved up to 5. It's still okay. I think Memphis should be over a TD against Arky State. And yeah, that does and wraps up the college football sides. This time, I believe we had 9 last week, and I believe we're at 10 this week. Yeah, 10. So, cool. Those are the track real quick. The 2 NFL. I agreed with Patrick, by the way. He did Browns +6.5. He called in last week. There's a few 6.5s still around. -115 is okay on the 6.5. I know we got one more call. We'll get to it. I only have 2 NFL. So we talked it through. My projection's closer to 4.5. He said his should be closer to 4, based on just the new home field expectation in the NFL, which we'll see. I think it maybe regresses partially back to home teams, but regardless, I still have this at 4.5. With the last few seasons, home field's been pretty non-existent. And then the Saints getting 4.5 now some spots against the Packers team, missing 2 of their offensive linemen, the weird Aaron Rodgers offseason. Jameis Winston, probably one of the best games he'll have this year, will be the first one when there's not a ton of tape on him in the Saints offense and Sean Payton's scheme. It should be lower. It should be a field goal. And in the NFL, getting a 4.5 when it should be a field goal, I think, is value. So Saints, Browns, those are the 2 NFL sides. The 10 in college. Let's take the call. Go ahead, patch them through. Welcome to Last Word, Cheetah. Who am I speaking with?
What's going on, Preston? Andre from Massachusetts.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. I know that it's no parlay September, okay? So I'm not even going to think about a parlay. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Cleveland Indians against the Minnesota Twins. I believe Clive. Okay, another terrible
Savali, yeah.
Cavalli, yeah, exactly. He appears to be a pretty good pitcher. I learned this, as my fantasy baseball league. I'm in the basement there. I'm in the cellar, but I'm learning at least who some of these good players are. But his name has been ringing out. So he's going to get it done for me tonight, okay, so that I can stay in striking distance, okay. And then now, Preston, did you do a show yesterday, or were you off for the holiday?
We were off for Labor Day. We were off. I was at the
'cause I
beach
went
getting
to check.
red.
I went to check because I needed to get my football. I need to learn my football knowledge. Obviously, the college football was crazy this weekend, so I had to listen to you guys so I can get that information before I, take any firm positions. So I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch today's show. In conclusion, to see where I am on the leaderboard, I have to stay in striking distance. I think. However,
You're not too far off. Most everyone's within like +1 and +3. People have done pretty well the first week, which generally happens, which is why I nixed. He's +2 units. Okay, so you're +2, so you're only about a game or so behind first. You're definitely in the mix. It's early. Just keep doing your thing.
Excellent. Indians going to help me out get it done. Talk to you tomorrow, Preston. Have a good one.
Take care. By the way, Qwan on that Indians -122 is the best. He just got bet against like right before he called. So he's getting a better price, but also seems like there's someone out there that disagrees with him and went with the Twins. I think it's Savali. I think it's Italian. You laughed at him, and I was like,
I like his attempts. His attempts are always great because he just be like,
I'm going to miss names weekly probably. I'm generally pretty good at them, but the one that got me so bad was Shuck and Show. Because I asked Bob, who said he was an Oregon fan, like 2 minutes before. I'll blame Bob for that.
Bob showed up in the chat on YouTube today.
Oh, shout out Bob. He's watching in the chat in class, teaching algebra. Or did he say maybe it's pre-calc or something?
Yeah, those kids don't need education.
Cool. We'll wrap it up. We have Betting Extraordinaire in a few minutes. Different link. We'll go live. Hopefully we can get this the other camera figured out. If not, it's all good. We're taking your calls, and Carlos didn't know. It's day one. It's a free-for-all. Everybody can call wide open. We're starting with trivia, and then we'll break down the day one question. Your chance to win $25K. Thanks for all those that called in for last word, Cheetah. Tomorrow, we'll be back, right? 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. We also have Steam Morning tomorrow, and we'll go day 2 of Betting Extraordinaire. So, big card. We'll be full tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll talk to you soon.